Hey everybody, welcome to Board Game Heaven. My name's Raymond, and in this video I'll do an unboxing of the large storage box for Role Player by Thunderworks Games. And this box comes with the expansion Fiends and Familiars, which is the latest expansion for Role Player. And the box is big enough to also store the core game and the expansion Monsters and Minions. So let's go ahead and open it up. So the Role Player Big Box by Thunderworks Games, which is a lovely looking box. Just look at that artwork. It's like there's wood carvings of the characters that you will also find on the core box art over here. As you can see, you've got the halfling, the knight, and the rogue. So they're here as well. And this is from the expansion. So Monsters and Minions and Fiends and Familiars. Looks really cool, and it is a large box. It's pretty thick. It looks like a bound tome, which is also a nice touch. Even has some bookmarks in here, which is nice. And on the back, I'm gonna do it very carefully because there is only one expansion in there, so it does wobble around a bit. So there is a bit of text here by Gimlix. All right, so it looks really cool, like a big tome. Let's open up this book. And there we go, the Fiends and Familiars expansion rulebook. So this lovely illustration. And in here we can see the overview and the components of this new expansion. There's some new types of dice in there, which is pretty cool. Some more combat dice, new types of cards, fiend cards, adventure tokens, etc. The setup is explained here. The player and the enemy setup. And of course the play sequence, so how this expansion plays and what it adds to the base game. All right, so there's even solitaire rules, which is nice. So it's not too many pages. It's 11 pages long, and that includes the components and the setup. So rules-wise, there's not too much to learn, which is good. Doesn't make the game overly complex. And then we have several punch boards. So we have these punch boards with a couple of new characters that you can play. Here's a Sheki. So... and of course, there's always a male and a female version, more or less. Just two different versions in any case. So with some extra coins as well. Here's a Saurian creature that also looks really nice. And when you punch these, this is where the dice go, and these tokens are also used in the game. So that's a very good use of a punch board. And different Saurians, so one's green and one's red. Cool. What else do we get? We get a Vargar, which looks like a wolf kind of creature, a wolf man. Also two different ones. This is cool. The Kaika, which is a penguin kin. Imagine playing a penguin kin. That looks awesome. Really nice. And here are these fiends. So we have a viper, an owl, an ice bear. All right, so we have those. What else do we have? We have a shadow drake, a flame imp, and a Nala's leopard. Cool. And then we have a long-tailed weasel, a warthog, and a wolf. And still more, we've got a phoenix, a fox, and a jackalope. And finally, we have a raven, a tortoise, and a badger. Yay, a badger. Cool. So those are all the punch boards in the game. And of course, this was what was banging around in here, all these cards. So we've got, let's see. Let's just open up all these cards, shall we? So in this deck of cards, we have lots of market cards. So a chain fold, leather cuirass. So lots of cool looking new market items. Scrolls as well, skills, traits. Really, I mean, I really like the artwork on these cards. The entire game. Can't get enough of it. It's just so colorful and detailed. See, I mean, just, it is really detailed. Lovely. Cruel. Relentless. Ruthless. Super cool. I love these. All right, so those are the market cards here. We have a setup guide, which is very handy, and you can play with the Fiends and Familiars expansion only, or with both this and the Monsters and Minions. So it explains all of that, and you basically just discard a number of cards. So, and this is also a card. When drawn, discard from the market and replace from the market deck. All right. And then we have these setup cards. This is for 4-5 players. Yeah, it says so in the corner here. But there's a couple of more in here. So here's number 5. That's it. That just goes with this for 5 players. I remember having a 6th player card in the Monsters and Minions expansion. So here is a Fiend card, so that's new. Then we have all of these new class cards. So you can be a Centurion, a Fighter, a Hunter, a Soothsayer, etc. There's always a whole lot of these. So plenty to choose from or to randomly pick. Yeah, backstories. And some, oh wait, these are the classes and these are backstories. All right, yeah, with the dice you want to have in certain spots. So we have those as well. Lots of new cards. And here are, of course, the minions. So let's see more of this beautiful art. Cockatrice, crocodile, wow. Mimic, a dryad, doppelganger, fungoid. Really, really cool. A tyrannosaur, Wendigo, wereshark. Cool. So a whole stack of new minions. All right, then we got some smaller cards. So let's see what's in here. We have a Fiend of Arbitration. So this is a Fiend card. And we have, what kind of card is this? An obstacle for the Leviathan boss. So they're kind of mixed here. Another Fiend, an obstacle for the Cyclops. Fiend. Here is a card that has the cost of several actions you can take and how you can gain gold on the back there. So we'll put that one aside. More Fiends, Fiend of Treachery. This is a location for the Leviathan. Crushing Blow, another attack for the Leviathan. So yeah, I'll just sort these out. So we got some new bosses. Here's one of these, more Fiends. So these got mixed up a bit. So, all right, so there's plenty of cards here. Lots of Fiend cards and more locations. All right, I'm almost through. And there we go. Cost summary, Fiend. Right, so these are all these Fiend cards. We got 4 of these, 5 even of these cards, and then some new locations and attacks and obstacles, which are in here. There's more of those because there's more here, and all the bosses are there. I'll show those last. I'll open this one first. So like before, we have some, and this is for the Hydra, and there's more of these. Okay, so there's different cards in here as well. This was an obstacle card for the Megapede. Okay, another boss. So here's another alignment card when you're a deceiver. So here it is, alignment. So those are mixed up as well. An obstacle for the Gorgon. So yeah, a purist. All right, well, these are more of that. I'll sort those out later. So we got plenty of those smaller cards, and of course the bosses. So first of all, here is the scoring card for each player, so you can keep track of the points you've scored. And on the back there's a play sequence, so if you're not playing with 5 players, you can have several of these flipped over as a reference, which is very handy. All right, so 5 of those. And then we have these monsters. So let's see what we have here. This is the Cyclops. Big, scary Cyclops boss. So for the solo mode and for 2 or more players. The Gorgon. The Griffin. The Hydra. Lovely, lovely artwork once again. The Leviathan and the Megapede. That looks really cool. And there were also, as an extra add-on, you could have cards with moving images if you turn them like that. I forget the term, but those were an optional add-on as well. They were pretty cool. So we've got some more of these blue cubes here. And then, of course, the dice, the lovely, lovely dice. So more of these attack dice, the orange ones that were also in Monsters and Minions. More of those. And the new dice that go into the bag that have double sides. That looks very cool. It's a very unique type of die. So yeah. So now then, the box itself, it does come with lots of Ziploc bags, which I very much appreciate, so I can sort out my cards and put them in the Ziploc bags if I want to. Sadly, the box itself doesn't really have a very good insert. It's just a cardboard insert like we have seen with Role Player and the first expansion as well. So yeah, I'll probably look into making my own insert, because right now it's big enough to have everything. You can just put everything inside in the Ziploc bags, but I do prefer to have a quicker setup and just take out little trays. So I'll look into that as well. But that was everything that was in the big storage box for Role Player. All right, I'm just gonna quickly show you how I've put everything back into the big box. Now, in a previous video that I made, you may have seen me put together this E-Raptor insert for Role Player and the first expansion, Monsters and Minions, which was basically made for just those 2 boxes and not for this second expansion. But since I have it, I thought I would just use it, but it's no longer perfectly adequate for everything. But I just wanted to show you that it does all fit inside. So I have this tray with all the attack dice. These are all of them. These are the monster cards and these cards of these alignments from the core game in the first expansion. I always keep the sleeve package so I know which sleeves I used. This is the tray that has basically all the cards from the core game and the first expansion. So the market cards and these cards as well. So I put them all just in here. I left them. Of course, the new ones don't fit in here anymore. Then that organizer had a tray for monster cards, which is a little bit too tall. And I've put those play sequence cards with the scoring track on the back as well. And all of these market placement cards in here as well. Sleeved, that is a nice fit. And then the second tray that went on top has all the tokens and the coins. I have the metal coins. So that's plenty of room still with everything. So far, it does still hold your things. The problem is, of course, with the new things and new cards that I have here. They won't fit anymore. So I'm gonna see if I can redesign this and just come up with something myself. So then I took all of the dice in the dice bag with the new ones as well, and I kind of rubbed them down until I had a stack of 2 more or less. And I'm just gonna try and fit that in here in the back. So that works nicely. And there's plenty of room still. See, the new ones are in here as well. And you just roll that up a bit and just keep it in the back so that you can put all of these on top of those trays with the new ones. So that'll fit. Now, one thing that I found out is that this doesn't fit side by side, sadly. So it'll sit tilted a bit like that, but it will still fit underneath the lid very nicely. So there's just enough room. So I'll just put that over here. And then you've got your tray here, this notepad. I've got the cards. These are all the minion cards from all expansions. I put them all together, sleeved in a Ziploc bag, and these are all the market cards from the Fiends Familiars expansion, from the latest expansion. These are the newer backstory cards from the latest expansion, and the new monster cards and the new alignment cards. So those just go on top of everything, and then you take all 3 rule books, and that just goes on top. And as you can see, that fits very comfortably inside the box. So I'm sure if I expand that insert somehow or change it, I'll be able to come up with a solution that fits everything ready to play straight out of the box. And I even think when stacked nicely, correctly, if I can figure something out, that design might even work with the original role player box, because it is exactly the same size. It's just not as tall. But if the insert has side walls, then you can still put on the lid of the original box. It'll just be slightly, quite a bit lifted, but it will still fit. So you'll have this. If you didn't get the big storage box, you can still sort everything and store it all inside the original box without the expansion boxes. So hopefully I'll be able to figure something out. If I do, I'll let you know. But otherwise, yeah, this is everything inside the storage box. And so that was my unboxing and reboxing of the large storage box for Role Player by Thunderworks Games. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe and maybe consider becoming a Patreon by clicking the Patreon button at the end of this video. That is greatly appreciated. Thanks a lot, and I'll see you next time on Board Game Heaven.